was going to say, here comes the lady's voice. My name is Lacey Wilcox. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I really hope that if you're new here, that you know that you were invited here because somebody really has something special they want you to hear, and they want to share this opportunity with you just to see how it could bless your family. There's going to be 4 of us talking here. I'm going to start and tell you a little bit about my story first. But first of all, we're going to give away a couple gift cards. So if you are a Plexus ambassador right now and you have a friend on here that you invited to this call that's new to Plexus, you each are able to win a $20 gift card. So I believe there's a post in Rising Jewels you can comment on so that we can pick those winners. So just if you have questions about that, you can message us afterwards. But my name, like I said, is Lacey. I live in a teeny tiny town in Northeast North Dakota. But my story truly begins. I have a special needs son who really struggled with pooping and acid reflux, like would vomit all the time. And so special needs, he had cerebral palsy, lots of challenges, feeding tube, he had a tracheostomy to help with breathing. And so that's kind of our backstory as far as why we started these products. But we saw relief with these products very, very quickly. And so I just was like, man, if there's somebody else that we can help out here, that's either a special needs family or honestly just a mom that needs more energy to keep up with her kids, better sleep, just better health in general, I'm like, I want to share about this so that other people can know too. And you guys have no idea how much people are praying for things like this, but you wouldn't know because who walks around talking about poop, right? Or how their bowel movements are. But it's been really tremendous to see just people that I would have never known that needed this. And so the blessing that Plexus has really given my family, I'm a physical therapist by day. And so it's really enabled me. I cut back at work after I'm 3.5 years in now. So, but after my first year, I was able to cut back because I have 3 kids, which one it allowed me to be involved in all of his therapies and take him to all of his appointments instead of hiring respite care. I have, like, every year I feel like I've stepped back from work a little bit more. And honestly, you guys, now I'm able to work when I want. I fill in for if people are gone or whatever it might be. And it's just such a blessing to like work because I want to work and not because I'm like relying on that paycheck. You guys, we were at a place where I had a really good job. I'm a physical therapist. Like we're not just like greeters at Walmart. We make good money. But I felt like every time we would put money away, I was constantly taking that or more out to pay for a furnace that needed repairing or some like emergency or unexpected thing that would come up. And so it just felt like we were spinning our tires and we were never really saving enough and not getting anywhere. And then to throw that on top of the mix, we had our twins that were premature and spent, I mean, they are, you guys, they are $1 million babies, no doubt, like no lie. I have the insurance or the statements. And so I always joke they're my $1 million babies, but we started our marriage in medical debt, basically. And so this has been such a blessing just to help us like get out of that. So I've been able to cut back part-time from my job. I truly now work when I want to. I can take my kids to school. I can pick them up from school. From after school on, we are truly like just, it's our family time. And I didn't get that before when I worked in the clinic. Like it'd be a rush to get home at 6 or 6:30. And you guys know the drill. It's supper time, it's bedtime. Like there was just none of that real good connection time and just time to be with them. So truly blessed in that respect too. But I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, which basically what that means is it's the top 3rd rank of the company. And when you hit that level, you actually earn a car. So a Plexus Lexus, which up until the summer, I've been driving a van with a wheelchair lift. And so there's a cash option that I've been taking. But you have the option to get the Plexus Lexus. You also are able to earn, or you earn just by hitting that rank, a free trip to Hawaii. And so I've now earned a couple trips to Hawaii, or one to Hawaii, one to Mexico. I've earned other trips for other things too, but it's just such a blessing to like, I get to spend that time with my husband now that we had to work really hard for before. Like it was not the norm for us to take a vacation together. It was hard for us because of our kids and our special need child to find help. But we got to a point where it was just like, we don't have the extra funds to spend for this. We were spending all my extra money, you guys, we had an account set up for my son Eli because it never failed. Insurance was denying some piece of equipment or supplies. Like they would only give us so many supplies for like his feeding tube and his tracheostomy. We live really rural, you guys. We're 2 hours away from like a major like trauma center. And so like we needed supplies, like we need stuff on hand. We can't just I can't go to Walmart and buy his food. Like it's a special tube feeding formula. And so just things like that nobody would really think of. But I mean, just to have that extra, you guys, we've had so many extra things come up that I've told my husband, thank goodness we have Plexus. Like while we were remodeling our kitchen to make our home more handicap accessible, my washer and dryer quit. Like I could just go and buy a washer and dryer without we didn't dip into our savings. We didn't even have to think about it. Like it's just an incredible feeling to be able to not have that worry of how are we going to pay for this? We're going to put this on another credit card and then deal with it whenever. We don't have that worry anymore. We have extra savings built up, and we've actually been able to, like, honestly, when I started Plexus, probably I'm going to say within the first year, we at least tripled our savings account. Like we were able to put that much money away, plus we were paying bills. Like I was paying our groceries. I was paying our utility bills. Like it's really incredible what this opportunity can bring to you. So I just pray that you keep an open mind as you're listening and as you're talking with your friend that invited you here. And I'm an open book. So if you guys have more questions, please ask. But I think I'm going to pass it along to Casey next.
Here we go. Sorry, always technical difficulties doing it on my phone. Okay, so I'm going to try to start at give you a little background, and then I'll tell you where I got started with Plexus. So I used to be a teacher. I no longer teach. I had to leave the classroom due to health issues very unexpectedly right after finishing my master's degree. We live in a very rural town as well, Mena, Arkansas. So that's like southwest Arkansas. So small town, not a lot of job options here. And then I also have $1 million baby, like Lacey. We have the proof of the bills for that too. So, and he had some special needs. Some were related to a birth defect that he had that was unexpected, and then some are related to his autism and his therapy that he needs. And so we also live far away from all of his appointments. It's 5 hours round trip to all of those, and for specialists for my needs too. So that's like a whole day if one of us has a doctor's appointment. So one of my big things with starting with Plexus was flexibility. I am not able to go back to a traditional 9-to-5 full-time job because of some health issues, which have improved a lot, but some of those I'm going to be managing lifelong, and that's okay. I'm in a lot better spot than I was. And I'm really glad that I can have a job where I have the flexibility, but I also can work. That's something I loved being a teacher. And when I left the classroom, I missed that so much. And so I have loved getting to bring over what I use in the classroom and getting to use it to help my customers. And that has been such a big blessing. And another thing that I have really loved is the community. This is something that I totally didn't expect. I kind of thought like, okay, I'm mostly going to be working on my own when I get started with this, which is totally fine. I am very much a self-starter driven, like I don't mind working by myself. But I have been blown away at the community of women. I'll be really honest. I don't know, Emily has heard me say this, like, I didn't know that women really existed and had relationships like this. I was the person that I would probably have always told you before, like, yeah, I just hung out with the guys, which feels a little more awkward when you're married and all the things. And so, but now, like, I've got to have some really great relationships with women. When everything falls apart, they're the ones that I call. And they are like, they know me better in such a short time. They know me better than so many people that I see every day. And we get to talk like the relationships really are it's pretty incredible how quickly those relationships are formed. Another thing, I was actually asking my husband about this. I said, what are some, because I could go on and on, what are some of the benefits that you have seen from Plexus, which he's really business minded. And so one of the things that he said was the return on investment. So, which he is absolutely right. We've done several businesses. I've done well in them, but it costs $9.95 to get your own website here and to start earning from referrals. Okay. And so every month I order my own products that I'm going to take or my family's going to take. And then from there, any expenses or things I choose, like it's not requirements. And so you're going to earn that $9.95 back real fast. And there's not risk with this like there are in many other brick and mortar businesses. The other thing that he said, and I'll try to go quick so I'm not taking too long. The other thing he said was the leadership skills. Everything that we can, you get to elect in if you want to do these things or not, but there's all kinds of learning opportunities that we participate in as a group that help to teach you leadership skills. And not only are you taught those skills, but you have an opportunity to employ them if you want. Lots of places you may have the skills, but you're going to wait for an opportunity that somebody says, okay, you can do this, you can use these skills. That's not the case here. And also, the next thing that he said was mentorship. The way Plexus is set up, there is someone that is going the way ahead of you, that is invested in you, and they've been everywhere you've been. They are showing you the steps as you go. You have so much support. The resources are there. That is truly incredible. And I'm going to add one little other thing real quick and then I'll wrap up. But the other thing that I think is really important is we're super intentional as parents. And so one of the biggest things that I love is my kids get to see me operating like as a person. They get to see me learning and trying something new. They get to see me when I fail. And then what do I do? Like, well, that was a bust. Okay, so what are we going to do? It's okay that happened. Now we're just going to regroup. So they aren't afraid of that failure. That is something that really held me back for a really long time in my life. And I want them growing up knowing that's normal and it's okay. And don't be afraid, because if you are afraid to try new things, you're never going to have the opportunity to succeed at them. So those are some of the things that I have loved with Plexus. I can't wait to see how much further I go. Throughout my journey. I'm only about 2 years in, but it's really been a great experience so far. Okay, I'm going to pass the torch to Kelly Winters.
Okay, am I doing this right? Just unmute. I think that's it. So my name is Kelly Winter. We live in Alexandria, Minnesota. I started Plexus in the Minneapolis area. My husband is from the Alec area, and I had some health issues just as a child where on the end it's a lot of residual health effects for me. And so my husband, I tried all these different things, different doctors. Oh, okay. They said it's better now, but it's good. Okay. And so my husband was like, would you please just try these supplements? Thinking about, he's like, I'm sick of hearing you complain. So that is how I started with Plexus. Is I said, what do I have to lose? And you kind of get to that point with your health where you're like, you know what, I'm going to just try one more thing. And so I always was trying these different things. And so I was happy to start Plexus because I'm like, it had all the puzzle pieces to be effective. And my big thing was is that it ships right to my door. So I cannot run out. And so for me, I wanted to be on these supplements for myself. And I really wanted my family to be on them too, because I think that it's not only important just for me to be on supplements, but also for my husband and my kids. But I am a huge budgeter, a huge saver. And so I was like, if I can cover the cost of these products for me and my family to be on, that's good for me. That's where I want to be. And so Success Links for me and my family of 5 to be on plus them. And so it has been at least the same yard sales. It's just one of these things. And I actually had someone start Plexus with me because she said, I know that you're very like thrifty and are a saver, but these must be that good if you're investing in them. And so that's what I will say, that they are definitely worth everything that you invest in it. You're going to invest in them for your health and with your time and your energy, but it is the payback is completely worth it, like the cost benefit. So but the business, shoot, sorry, I understand you have a hard time hearing it.
Well, can you hear me, Kelly?
I can hear you. Can you?
Yeah, it's kind
hear
of
me?
weird. It's like robotic, and then it's like, I can't tell if it's you speeding up with your voice or if the computer is speeding up. You're from
I do
Michigan,
speak fast,
so it
so
could be
maybe
that you're
that's
fast.
it. Is that better now?
I think so. Yeah. Let's try it again.
Okay. We live out kind of in the country where there's not a lot of great internet. So hopefully that's good now. Okay. So I'll just kind of briefly go back into the business piece. That my biggest thing was being able to cover the cost of the products for me and my family of 5. And it absolutely saves me that they ship to my door because then I cannot run out. So that is probably one of my favorite things with them, to be able to stand them consistently. But the business piece has also been, I have another small business that I operate on my own, home organizing. And I have to say that everything that I have learned with Plexus, as far as like confidence in yourself and the personal growth and the self-development, has over 100%, that's the thing, helped me in that line of business. Because here I am with my home organizing, going and having to share an opinion-based thing that I know I believe in. And some people can self-doubt you in that. And so I think that has been one of my favorite things with Plexus that I've been able to use for myself and my other business. I've been able to use it in teaching my daughter's situation, that we don't get to write other people's stories of what we think they're thinking if we message them and they don't message back. So it's just really this self-growth and believing in who you are as a person and who you've been created as, with your skills and your talents, and to grow into those. And so I have to say that is probably one of my favorite things, is and like, I guess I could say ditto to everything Lacey and Casey said, but the community of women that 100% rally around you constantly, just not just for growth in your business, but again, that personal growth. And I think when we're looking at it, that love, serve, grow. If our service is our mindset, we're always going to be winning. And so that's where there's this constant push, even from corporate, to be in a service mindset. And and I love, like, the personal development is generally number one, right? That's our goal, because again, if we're there, then we're going to be growing. And so we're doing a book study, another one, with some of the Plexus ladies, and it's 100% talking about like your goals, and that we can just be successful women with big dreams. And to do that is to have that service mindset. And so I think a lot of us as women, we're self-driven, and we have big goals, and we have big dreams, and we have that feeling like there's just got to be more. And what is that more? And so I feel like this business has, with that personal growth in the community of women, and the corporate, how they operate with ethics and values, what pushes you in all the right directions for that, for what is that something more, but in with the service mindset. And I will ditto all the things with a flexible schedule. I have never held an 8 to 5 job because I cannot work at a desk. But I absolutely love, I'm a social worker by profession, and I'm in the restaurant industry serving. And I think that we have that service heart as women. And that has been one of my favorite things, that health is a huge, it's a big thing to me. And so that I get to combo that with like my service and my helper personality along with my help with this. And so I think when my husband is in sales, he's been in sales his whole life. And he said that you cannot sell something you do not believe in. And when you see these products and how they absolutely change lives and just bring hope to people, you will absolutely believe in these products and be able to just sell them with ease because you believe in them. So if I were to say that, did I look for this business? No. My husband says it's the way the world is going with online sales. Go with it. And it has been just a beautiful thing to connect with all of these women, to get to know them over the years. I have to say, was I nervous to go to convention my first year? Yep. It was like going to your sleepover with people you didn't know. But it's one of my favorite things. I look forward to it every year because there's so much growth, and you just come back with this like burning passion, and you're just like, this is why I'm doing this. So I will say that nothing happens by chance, that there's always a reason for it. So if you are on this call and you're feeling this nudge and this, maybe there's something, I encourage you to pursue it and just let the path take you.
Thank you, Kelly. That was beautiful. And Lacey and Casey, I mean, I'm hearing these stories of just like heart change and personal development and confidence, and the fact that they're able to get healthy for themselves and with their families and all the things, this support of women. I don't know if you guys saw, but one of the comments in here was talking about how like I've always been lacking support from fellow women. Like that is super common, unfortunately. And it's so beautiful. My name is Emily. I've been with Plexus for almost 6.5 years. And this started for me as a small dream that I had big dreams. Like it was a small thing starting off, but just had really big dreams. And so sitting here and hearing these women that have come from me saying yes, and their people saying yes, and so on and so forth, like it's so beautiful. I mean, these women have become family to me, and I'm so thankful for all of you all. Thank you so much for being here. So my story, real fast, is that I went to college with a business degree, but really I was looking for an MRS degree. All I wanted was just to be a married woman. I wanted to be at home baking biscuits, barefoot, having babies. That was like my dream. I did not want to work, but that didn't happen. I didn't find my husband until way later in life. And so I had to go and make money so I could survive and not live in a cardboard box. And so I started my career as a buyer for Dillard's department stores. And I did that for 4 years. And so I was in corporate America, and I absolutely hated it. The last 2 years of my life working there in corporate America, every single day I would go home and cry. I was miserable. Every single person in my department was so fearful that we were going to lose our jobs. We felt like we needed to get in and work early. We needed to work through lunch. We needed to work in the evening after 5 o'clock. We felt like we needed to come in on Saturday mornings just so we could prove that we were, faithful and loyal, but we weren't seeing a difference in our paycheck. If we did at the end of the year, when they would come and do the bonus conversations and your review, it might be like $1 an hour extra or something ridiculous. And I hated it. I hated my job. There was no purpose. There was no passion. For goodness sake, I was buying women's underwear. So like there was no passion there. So then I took a $10,000 pay cut as a single woman, and I went and I did something I was very passionate about. I worked for a kids ministry. I deeply love Jesus. I deeply love kids. If I wasn't going to be able to be barefoot and birthing babies, then I might as well be taking care of other people's babies and leading them to the Lord. And so I did that for about 5 years and I loved it, but I was working 24/7. I was pouring out all of me and I was not making any money. And as a single woman working all the time, not making money, when I eventually did meet my husband, I knew that that was not going to work for us. I knew that I wanted to be home. I wanted to be present. And then the fact that we ended up accidentally getting pregnant like a few minutes after we got married, I knew I wanted to be home with my child too. And so we worked our whole marriage to where we were paying off his student loans, where I was just working kind of remote jobs or part-time jobs. He was working jobs. He was going to seminary. We were just doing a lot of different things. And we were not really moving forward. We actually had to borrow $500 a month, every single month from my parents the very first year that we got married. We were tight. Like Kelly was saying, how she was really big into like thrifting and being careful with her money. Like that was how we had to operate because we didn't have money. And so when my friend who I went to college with messaged me and asked if I wanted to do Plexus, I was almost like offended. Like, don't you know my bank account? Like I have no money. Go away. Leave me alone. Like don't sell to me. I don't want what you're selling because I know you're just trying to make a buck off of me. That was my honest attitude. And so for 4 years, I would see her and I would see other people that I had gone to college with that I loved, that they would be sharing this Plexus. My friend actually sent me, I didn't ask her for it, but she sent me 3 sticks of our infamous pink drink, our Plexus Slim. I threw them in the trash. Like I was so skeptical against the products. I assumed that they were not good for you because I was seeing a lot of my friends losing weight and helping with their headaches and helping with aches and pains and giving them energy. But specifically, I was seeing them lose weight. And so I just assumed that it was going to be something that these little schmucks who don't know what they're talking about, they're taking these drinks and these supplements, and in a couple of years, they're going to have bad things happening to their body. So I'm just going to stick to my tacos and my ice cream and not take vitamins. And I'm going to be up here. Well, that lasted for about 4 years. And every single Sunday, I would go into my closet and I would just cry because I had had 2 babies. My body was changing. I couldn't fit into my clothes. I was feeling insecure. Those insecurities were spilling over from me into my marriage, into the way I was parenting my children, into my friendships, because I was consumed with myself. In those 4 years of me not being interested in Plexus, and sad in my body, sad in the way that I was feeling and looking and not sleeping and not having energy, I was also seeing my friends who were doing Plexus, they were changing things for their families. Financially, I have a really good friend who was able to pay off her husband's PA school loan, which was over $100,000. She was able to pay that off in a year. I had another friend that I had gone to college with who was able to leave her full-time job at a hospital and come and work from home with her 4 children. I had another friend that was able to buy a dream home in a dream school district. So I saw that it was not just like $25 a month. Like I saw that the opportunity was very real. So I needed something to help me with my health. I also needed something to change things for our family financially. So after 4 years of being having skepticism and being that, not wanting to be that girl, after 4 years, I decided that I'm going to try this. And so that was 6.5 years ago. And I will tell you, that was the scariest decision I'd ever made because I was so skeptical, but I really cared about people. I really care about relationships. I never want anybody to see me and feel like I'm trying to sell them on something or trying to befriend them for my business benefit. And that was something that I had to really work through. But I think I realized when I started my business, I don't have to do this the way that I've seen it done poorly in the past. I can do this with my integrity and with my character. I can be sharing something that is helping me and that's helping other people. And I can go to bed easy at night. Like I can go to bed proud of what I'm doing because I think I had seen it done poorly in the past and I had a lot of fear over what people would think. But I think once I realized I can do this well and I can change things for my family and I can help other people. And so what you're seeing right here is just a small glimpse of that yes. these positive stories that are coming through that you've heard tonight, those are just a small, tiny bit of saying that yes, of getting over that fear. And I'm not boasting at all. I'm saying, like, for Lacey, she feels this way. For Casey, she feels this way. Kelly feels this way. Getting over our fears, getting over those objections, getting over ourselves, and doing something that we feel in our heart we could do, and we could do this well, and we could change things for our families. There's a lot of power in that, and there's a lot of freedom in that. So I wanted to talk with you guys. We ended up getting to the very top of the company, and it has been such a gift. All the things that Lacey talked about with the cars and the trips and the finances and personal development and community, all of those things times a bazillion have happened for our family, and it's been such a gift. But I wanted to take the last couple of minutes tonight to share with you, what does this look like? Like, if you're here and you don't have a clue about how do I make a little bit of money? This sounds interesting. This sounds intriguing, which it should. It should sound intriguing because it is legitimately the best business opportunity you could ever have. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of what this looks like. If you are on our team and you've been doing this for a while, I still encourage you to stay, because this might also encourage you. This might build some belief. This might help you as you are helping other people. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to take a quick second to do a screen share. I put together a PowerPoint. Okay. So we're going to go through this pretty quick. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat. I can't see the chat right now, but I will get to it at the very end. This is just a very brief overview of what does this look like to start a business and to have a solid business with Plexus. So look at one of our beautiful friends, Kanya. She's on our team. So this comes from a book by John Maxwell. If you guys don't know who he is, he was a pastor for 25 years, and now he is like the leadership guru. He has written over 80 best-selling books on leadership, and our team is very passionate about that personal development, like you heard all of the ladies speaking about. And so this is from one of his resources where he talks about some of the top benefits of working with network marketing. And I'll say right here that for me, seeing people like him and multiple other very well-known, very respected people in the world saying, you know what, network marketing can be a really, really great opportunity. That really encourages me. So top 10 benefits of working in network marketing. If you can't read this, it says enhancing your income, increasing your influence, or the way that you add value to other people. Right below that, adding value to those around you, providing options for your future, becoming a better person, start you on a level playing field. Anybody can do this. Developing lifelong friendships, exposure to incredible experiences, learning while you're earning, and being a part of a really great team. And I can say, after 6.5 years of being here, 1,000,000%, every single one of those things is absolutely true when you find the right network marketing company. With Plexus, we have products that are changing the masses, like they're meeting the needs of the masses. If you are not familiar with our products, we are a very innovative company that focuses on gut health. We focus on gut health. We have a really great weight loss, weight management program, and we also have a really great skincare program, but all of it is focusing on gut health, the gut microbe. So we are leading in innovation in there. We also have a compensation plan that is incredible. We have incredible rewards, recognition, like Lacey was talking about with the compensation. We'll go over that in just a minute. Different trips. You also get a turnkey business, so you get your own referral link. You have resources out the wazoo that's given to you as soon as you join. You have tons and tons of integrity and accolades that come from Plexus worldwide as a company. So when you pair those two together, as silly as it might sound, it truly is an opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm living proof of that. And we have many people on our team who would say the same thing. So I put together the top 4 steps that I have seen and what it looks like to create a strong business with Plexus. First is vision. Second is belief. Third is day-to-day activity, and the 4th is commitment. Those are the top four things that I see creating a really strong business. So the first thing, going back to that vision, I would encourage you guys to ask yourself this, like, what is intriguing to you about this? What could this look like for you and your family if this were to be something that you were to pursue, and to pursue with heart and with passion? So for me, I know I had some small goals and I had some big goals. When I first started off, my goals were to be able to get my daughters into extracurricular activities without having to go and sell things on Craigslist or dip into our grocery savings. Another goal was our freezer died, and so we had to get rid of all of our meat that was in our freezer, and I wanted to be able to replenish our freezer food. We wanted to be able to give more. We wanted to be able to travel more. We wanted to be able to eliminate my husband from a job that he was not loving and allowing him to go and do something that he was super passionate about. We just had so many big dreams. So I encourage you, what would that look like for you? Like, what would it look like if you had a little extra money? What would that do for your family? What would that do for your marriage? I don't know if you guys saw in the chat, but Melanie had a really great point that there's so much stress that comes from finances. And I know that was a huge stressor for me and my husband as we were just trying to make ends meet when we first got married, even into years into us being married. So a few questions that I encourage you to just think about is, if time and money were not an issue, what would you do? What would your life look like? Another question is, which would make a big difference for your family? Extra a month, $200, $500, $700, $2,000. Think about where, like, that extra money, what would make a big difference for you? And then lastly, how much time a day are you willing and able to put towards growing a business from home that you could provide, that could provide this income? So the beautiful thing about this business is that you can work it part-time. I don't calculate how many hours I work, but I can tell you, just like Lacey said, I work a couple hours, and then when my kids get home, my phone gets put up. I am not working. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes a day. You can make a really good income in a couple of hours a day of work. So asking yourself those questions, and if you are here and you're like, okay, I actually think I really want to do this, I want you to think about those questions, and I want you to go to the person who invited you and say, okay, this is the amount that I think would make a difference for my family each month. And that can change, of course. For me, it was like, I want to get my products paid for. So that was a couple $100 a month. One of my family's products paid for, a couple $100 a month. And now it's so much different. And then also ask that question of, how much time am I willing and able? And I want you to share that with the person who invited you, because what that's going to do is that's going to help your friend or me or Lacey. Any of us here are leaders, and we want to help anybody find success here. That's going to help us figure out the pace that you should be going, the pace that we should be helping you with. If you want to be making $100 a month and you're only able to work like a couple days a week, that's going to be a very different pace than, I want to be making $10,000 a month and I'm able to work 3 hours a day. Does that make sense? So think about those questions. There's a really great quote that it rings very true. This is from a lady in network marketing. She's a multi-million annual income earner. She's with a different company. Her name is Sarah Robbins. She was a former kindergarten teacher, and she wrote a book as well. And she said, as many as 95% of those who remain in this industry for 10 years or longer, working steadily at building their groups, reach the highest level of pay in their respective business. 95% of the people who work steadily and are in this business for 10 years, 95% of them reach their top pay. So next question is, what does that look like for Plexus? Like, what is the top pay for Plexus? Now, this is an average monthly income here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a diamond ambassador. So you can see it at the bottom. And my paycheck is actually more than that a month. So this is a very general scale. So, this is on an average, but just as a brief overview, take a look at that. That's extra a month right there, anywhere from $150 a month to $20,000 a month. So that's what you're working with Plexus. The next thing is, each month we have really fun incentives. We have something called the Fast Start program, where you get bonuses when you reach certain thresholds within the company. And so you can see here, it may be a little challenging to read, but you can see here where it says in the middle, refer 3. That means you have 3 friends that want to come and do this with you. They want to get healthy with you, that accountability portion. If you have 3 friends, you're going to earn anywhere from $105, $205, $305, plus you're going to win, and not win, you earn because you're working, you're going to earn a spa gift card for $150. And then so on and so forth. You can see down there how that income, those referrals continue to build upon one another. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And just take a look at this and remember, 95% of the people who stick to this and work steadily have that vision, the belief, the day-to-day activity, and that commitment, those 4 steps I was talking about. Then 95% of them reach the top level of that company. Pretty incredible. Another thing that I'm really proud of is, this is just something fun that we've put together, is our team is incredible. Our team is one of the top teams in the company, and I am incredibly proud of that. And that comes from intentionality. We have a lot of leaders on our team. We have a lot of people who stick with those 4 steps, and that's where that growth comes from. And so we want to reward that. So it's really fun to go from a woman who was only able to like shop at thrift stores and ask for $500 a month for my family to be able to gift fun things like this to our team. And this is not all from me. This is not all from our jewels. Some of these things are from corporate, but last month, corporate did an iPad incentive. The month prior, I think it was a Lululemon gift card, cowboy boots. We've done Apple watches within like what we do here with our team. We'll do fun little, gifts, add 2 or 3 and get this gift or get this coaching call. So there's just a lot of fun things. And I'm going to tell you, when I was buying granny panties at Dillard's, I did not have anything like this. So it's really, really fun and really special. And then going back to what Lacey was talking about, here's some more fun things that we have walked away from. I don't know if you guys can see, but this Lexus, I actually have a Lexus up in my garage right now that I'm not paying for. It's this beautiful SUV Lexus that has blessed our family that I am actually making money off of. Right next to it is a shopping spree. We typically have shopping sprees that we can earn every year, and we've earned a lot of shopping sprees. And it's not just me. We have a lot of people on our team that have walked away from that. Right here, Plexus rented out SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida, and it was all just Plexus at SeaWorld. Right here, this is a leaders retreat. So we have different gatherings that corporate will host, and they'll have fun bands, and they have fun dinners and galas. And down here, we hosted as a team. We hosted a beach retreat. We have we earned a cruise. Like, there are just so many fun things that we wouldn't have paid for ourselves, but we are getting to see so much of the world. We're getting to experience so much together with these people that we didn't know years ago who've now become family. It's really, really so special. The second step that I was talking about that builds a really solid foundation with Plexus is belief. Henry Ford says, whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. I love that. So if you think you can do it, you can do it. If you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it. So belief is extremely important here. And there are 4 things I would say are really important when it comes to belief with Plexus. Belief in yourself, I would say, is one of the biggest things that you have to work on. But when you ask, well, how do you believe? How do you build that belief? You build that belief by doing it, by like getting into action, by proving to yourself that you can do it. And you're consistent in that, and you're working on your mindset. You're not telling yourself stories. I know when I first started, I remember I would tell myself all these stories. Oh, I made this post and nobody liked it. Oh my gosh, everybody's sitting around their Thanksgiving dinner table talking about Emily Burgess is doing Plexus. And I would like tell myself that. That's not healthy. That's not true. Half the people didn't even see my stuff. So you have to continually be working on your mindset. Be in a place where you are not believing things that are not true. The next part of belief would be belief in the products. We have some really great resources. We've got an incredible testimonial page called Trust Your Gut that will really build your belief. You can go to the search bar in that Trust Your Gut page, and you can type in whatever you're curious about. Say maybe Lyme's disease, maybe arthritis like RA, maybe constipation, maybe weight. Put those words, those keywords in the search bar and see what testimonials pull up. That's going to help with your belief in the products, because it's not just 1 or 2 of us. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of testimonials. We have really great videos, training videos, informational sheets. We have all sorts of things that can help you grow your belief and your understanding of the products. So again, so many resources. Belief in Plexus as a corporation. We have an incredible business. We've been around for over 15 years, which is almost unheard of with network marketing. So I'm very, very proud of that. I serve on the advisory board, so I get to have deep conversations with the executives within our company almost every single day. And the integrity and the character of our executives who are leading this ship are like second to none. They're incredible. I trust them deeply. Speaking about integrity, that's something very, very important to me. Every single year, there's something called the Direct Sales Network Company, I believe, or Direct Sales Network organization. I don't know, but they do awards for all the network marketing companies. They put all these network marketing companies of the world all together, and they do different accolades, different awards. And Plexus, for the past, I want to say 5 years, has been #1 for integrity. So I'm extremely proud of that. Like Lacey was saying, was it Lacey or Casey or Kelly? One of you was saying it's only $10 to join. I think that was Casey. It's only $10 to join. You do not have to have a closet full of inventory for you to make money. You're not out schlepping and hoping that people are going to buy the products that you had to spend your hard-earned money on. That's not it at all. Like, there are just so many things that makes Plexus stand out above the rest. We have an incredible customer service that bends over backwards to take care of the customer. Like I said, we just stand above the rest. And then lastly, the fourth part of belief that I think is super important is belief in this business model. Direct sales, social selling has been around for over 100 years, so it is not going anywhere. This business model has uncapped financial opportunity. So I remember when I was working as that nonprofit ministry director, and my boss said to me, I love that you're working hard, but I just have to let you know you are never going to make a raise. Like, you're never going to go above this because you're doing God's work. And I remember that felt really defeating, and that was really hard. As much as I loved my job, I was working hard, and I wanted to be rewarded, at least to be able to eat and to be able to survive. And so that's been really beautiful here, is that the work that you put in, you're rewarded for that. Also, the flexibility with the time. You don't have a boss. You get to create that time, which can be hard because you then have to have discipline, but that is a huge, huge gift with this company. And lastly, with this business model, anybody can do it. You know, you hear people talking about, oh, well, a surgeon makes $320,000 a year. Well, that's great, but only certain people are able to go and do that, or teachers or whatever. Like, anybody can do this. If you're 18 years or older, anybody can do this. And if you look within network marketing, it's not one cookie cutter type of person. When I look across Plexus, there are grandmas, there are 18-year-olds, there are Caucasians, there are African Americans, there are older people, younger people, skinny people, large people. Like, it does not matter. Anybody can do this. So that's a big part of network marketing that you have to really build your belief in. The third step, we're almost done. The third step here and what it looks like to have a strong business with Plexus is day-to-day activity. So, if you want to go and run a marathon, you have this vision of what that's going to be like. You have this belief that you can do this. You believe that this is, going to be so good for your body, so good for your mind. You have those things. But if you're not out practicing and you're not consistent, that's going to be real hard on your body. It's going to be real hard on your mind. And more than likely, you are not going to cross that finish line. That is the same thing here with what we're doing. So you need to have that foundation, but then you need to get to work. I really love this quote by Jim Rohn. He says, "The only way it gets better for you is when you get better. Better is not something you wish, it's something you become." So the day-to-day activity is truly the bread and butter of what we do here with Plexus. What that looks like is you're recruiting, you're retaining people, you're helping people stay, you're duplicating. So I am, and I can talk more into detail on this if you would like later, but I helped my friend Kara, and then Kara went and helped her friend Carly, and Carly went and helped her friend Sally Joe. So that's called duplication. So we're just helping one another. And then the fourth part of earning that paycheck is through leading, through your leadership. So with recruiting, what that looks like, when you say, okay, well, like, how do I recruit? What does that look like? Done consistently, that looks like you inviting people to learn about Plexus, inviting people to come and be a part of events like this, inviting people through coffee dates or messenger or text message or phone calls, inviting people to come and hear about this. See if this is something that could bless them in their health. See if this is something that could bless them financially. Another part of recruiting comes with sharing on social media. That made me want to vomit. I was really scared about that vulnerability piece, but the thing I really like is that you become more intentional on social media because you become a person who wants to add value to other people. It's not you're just out trying to make a buck. So the fraction that we as a team really focus on is 70% of your social media should be you going and adding value. And then the other 30% is on Plexus. So if that makes you a little bit nervous of like, oh, I don't want to get on social media about Plexus, it's a very small amount, but it is a very important piece of your business and of recruiting because it gets your business out there on the forefront. The other part of recruiting is following up with those people that you invited and then being a product of the product and consistently sharing. Because what's going to happen is if you're sharing on social media that you're taking these products and you're consistent with these products, and then you show up to church a couple weeks later and people see that you look good, you feel good, you're operating with more energy, they're going to know that's from what you've been sharing. So that's really, really important. Another important part of recruiting. So then here's just a quick example if you are questioning like, well, what does that look like to invite somebody? I really, really like this one. Hey, Amy. So here's an example that you could send something like this, not copy and paste, but send something like this on Messenger. Hey, Amy, I recently saw where you shared about your horrible time with migraines. I'm so sorry you have to deal with that. I don't know what it's like to struggle with migraines myself, but I have a friend who was able to get to the root of the issue and get rid of her migraines just with a few simple changes. Would you be open to me sharing her story with you? So you don't have to be a weirdo saying, hey, do you want to come by Plexus? You can make it about this other person. Hey, Casey, I saw that you were struggling with this. Don't know if this would help you, but I've seen it's helped some of my other friends. Would you want me to get some information for you? That is adding value to people and helping people. So again, you can go to bed feeling good at night that you are helping, not being a sleazy, slimy salesperson. A quick follow-up example that I was talking about with that recruiting. Hey, Mia, I saw a really incredible testimonial from a girl that made me think of you and the health struggles you shared with me. Would you like me to send you her story? See if this is something that could help you with your anxiety. It's about Mia. It is not about me. Hey, Mia, I'm trying to earn this cruise. Do you want to come and buy these products? That's not what we do. We are serving other people, just like Kelly was talking about. The second part of how to make a paycheck with Plexus is retaining. That means you're retaining your customers. That comes from providing really good customer care. That comes from taking care of your customers and figuring out like their needs and how to kind of adjust with their regimen. And all of us started brand new. So don't be afraid of like, I don't know how to do that. You have a whole army of people here that can help you. So don't let that pull you away of like, I don't have the time to do that. I don't know how to do that. We will help and equip you in that. Another way to retain people is inviting them to events like this to build their beliefs so they can see what this is about. They understand more about the products. They have more belief in the products. That's going to help them to stick around. And then your job is also to help them get their products paid for, because when people are getting their products paid for, even if it's just a portion, they're going to want to stick around because the products are so, so effective and so good. The third part of earning that paycheck is duplicating, like we just talked about. That comes from you leading by example, you in the trenches, going out and doing that recruiting and that retaining of your people. It comes from duplication, comes from you offering the opportunity with other people. Hey, Lacey, I think you would be amazing at this. Would you ever consider doing Plexus with me? I would love to do this with you. So sharing the opportunity, dripping that belief of what you have in those people. If you think that these people would be amazing, tell them. Who knows? Maybe they've been praying for an opportunity like this and you have no idea. Just like Lacey was saying, a lot of people don't walk around talking about poop. A lot of times people don't walk around talking about how they're really, really struggling financially. Another way to duplicate is just continuing to sharpen your skills through trainings and the resources that we have in taking action. And like I was talking about, we have so many great resources. And so just a few, we have really great just field leaders within our company that have really strong trainings that we have on YouTube. We also have corporate. The corporate does a ton of trainings, intentional trainings all throughout the month. And then we have some really strong, solid podcasts that we like to listen to. So there's an ample amount of resources. So it can help you as you're growing your business. The last part of what it looks like to have a solid business, to earn a paycheck with Plexus, and this part's a little bit more vague. This one's called leading or leadership. And that comes over time. That comes from you loving and leading your people, building trust, building relationships with your people. That also comes from your accomplishments. And those accomplishments are going to happen by you doing those three things I talked about a minute ago consistently, with passion and with belief. And then the last part of leadership is you committed to leading and developing leaders. And so those four pieces right there, the recruiting, the retaining, the duplicating, and the leading, those done with vision, belief, and commitment, passion, purpose, that's where you're going to see a solid income with Plexus. But it takes time. Think about when you go to college. You go to college for 4 years, and then that's when you start earning that money. So know that this takes time. Be patient, trust the process, and know that you're not going to be making $20,000 in 2 months, and be okay with that. Be okay with learning as you're earning your money. And then the last part of the steps that I was talking about with the vision, the belief, the activity, the last part is commitment. I love this quote. The greatest factor that leads to success is your decision. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So make a decision, be relentless, and be committed to do whatever it takes. That's exactly it. Having that understanding of what this could be for you and your family. Having that understanding of, I know that it takes commitment. I know that it takes me doing those daily activities with confidence, with growth mindset. It takes me building trust with other people by me showing up and being a leader, getting in the trenches and leading my team well. That is what it's going to take. And so it's 1,000,000% worth all of it. So wrapping up, the 4 steps to creating a strong business with Plexus is having that vision, what it could be for you and your family, having that belief in yourself and the products and the business opportunity. I don't know what's going on here. Do you guys see that? The drawing on here? The belief in Plexus as a corporation and then network marketing as a whole, doing the day-to-day activities, and then being committed, sticking with this, being resilient. Jim Rohn, in closing, he says, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So I appreciate you guys so much being here. I'm going to stop the share. I appreciate you guys being here. I know that was like super fast, but really the thing is that this is a very simple business. It's not easy. It's simple. And there are a few simple tasks that need to be done with excellence and consistency and positive mindset. And you will see beautiful results. I appreciate you guys for being on. Thank you for spending the evening with us. Like Lacey said, if you are an ambassador here with Plexus, or if you're currently a customer and you have a guest that has joined you tonight, I'm going to have a post written out in Rising Jewels, and you can put your name and your guest name that was on live. I will have this uploaded to YouTube so you can be sharing it with your friends that weren't able to make it tonight. I appreciate you all for being here. If you have any questions, please let me know. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Bye-bye.